Look, it wasn't one that you would go and name a game and get the DVD sent out via the post and rewatch at a later date, but the Giants did what they needed to do by 48 points against a wounded Essendon side. Kingy, what were your first thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts were, in a positive sense, how different is their forward line?
Yes.
Like there's so many different types in there. Brown's a different customer. He's super quick. He can mark the ball at any height, really. Whether it's on the lead or standing on someone's head. You've got Stringer doing his thing. He's starting to find some real form now. And we put him in the gun last week. He's not that he's been out of form, but we just want to see him stamp a game, which he did last week and backed it up again this week. Jones and Bedford, I like the fact they're not tagging in the middle anymore.
Yeah, I would usually be against that, but I think he's been important, what Bedford's been able to bring and give.
Getting up and down the ground.
Yeah.
And Cadman just looks like a different player now. In a space of, half a dozen games, it looks like he's matured into a big body that can hold his ground. Didn't have a huge night by any stretch, but just looks strong enough to command that second tall forward role. Now they did that all without Jesse Hogan, and Toby Green. I just don't know how he keeps doing what he's doing at his age at such a high level.
And then Tom Green as well. I think he's a story. One of the stories for the year. For the second time this season, he's had 16 clearances in a game.
Yeah,
like I know we say it a lot about midfield, but to just seeing him up close, stand next to him, this guy is a beast. We actually had him mic'd up for Channel 7 last night, and it was really good stuff. And you never know whether players put on a bit of extra when they know that they're mic'd up. But I thought his direction, his demand of his teammates, he's got a healthy confidence about himself. He looks like the next captain to me, Tom Green.
What does that mean? He's got a healthy
confidence?
He said, what does that mean?
He said something like,
subtle?
we can chase the audio. It's on 7 socials. He said, geez, I'm hitting them well tonight. I'm hitting them beautifully, like the way that he was kicking the ball in the warm-up. So
what about
he's a baller too.
What about the banana pass
I know.
from the centre of the ground to the wing? I'm not sure I've ever seen that. That was amazing. Look, 16 clearances, clearly it's a huge night, and they had their way with them in the ruck. Briggsy, it was always going to be that way, wasn't it? Is it enough? Was the 48 points in the second half? Let's talk about the big prize. We're all playing for the big prize at the end of the year. This list is built for the big prize at the end of this season. Was the second half, did it impact your thoughts on them going forward at all?
No, I didn't really factor the game in last night. I thought they were in second or third gear. I think they did what they needed to do. The thing that gives me some confidence about them is their record against the best sides. It stacks up. Adam Kingsley's undefeated in July. He's 12-0 because they start the season. They're all over the place. They travel everywhere. Now it's the time to settle it down, get some continuity. I'm looking forward to when they're back there at Marvel against the Western Bulldogs in a couple of weeks. Round 21 will be good. They've got a pretty good run in to the finals in terms of strength of opposition. So the two opportunities they do get, they play the Gold Coast and the Western Bulldogs, are great ones, and we'll get a better look at them. But hard not to be impressed with the form that they're in, the way that they've really improved their midfield stuff. I think they'd love to concede less entries. I think only West Coast concede more entries. They defend it well. But with Taylor coming back, if they can get Hogan right, if Kelly gets himself into good form, don't know if Brent Daniels gets back in with that abdominal. He's 5 to 6 weeks away, so that's going to be a stretch.
2 or 3 weeks.
You think? We'll ask Adam Kingsley. He was still listed as over a month, so we'll see whether
that's going to be... Don't believe those reports.
Okay, don't believe them. But look, they're in it. They're in it to finish top 4. They're in the top 4 right now, and I think they're going to be, if they finish there...
See, I don't see them finishing top 4, but
Well, they're there now, and if you look at, you would have their fixture in front of you.
Their run home
is pretty good.
Is Sydney next Friday night. The Dogs down here, North Melbourne. Then they play the Suns they go on the road, go up north.
Yep.
And then they finish with St Kilda. So it's a nice draw. I think I was watching their ball movement. So the ball movement's changed. It's called them the Plain Jane Giants because they were just going lateral all the time. There was no real dare. See them against Geelong, and it's run and gun. It's run it at the opposition. It's take territory, and then it's get it deep to one-on-ones. And we talked about that forward line. There's patches last night were against an undermanned Essendon. They couldn't move the ball, and to me that's just a little asterisk. I just thought they might have been better than what they were last night. And that's not taking away from Essendon, and we'll get to them in a moment. But in terms of if that was a high-quality team last night, they may have been a little bit more vulnerable. Bombers missed a lot of opportunities early. They really could have led by 4 goals early.
Yeah, they missed and some easy ones as well. I mean, they kicked 7-14 for the night, and they did miss some easy ones. I thought their pressure was good. Essendon, just as we tick off a few of the issues from last night, any worries for Big Briggsy with the tackle on Durham?
I didn't think so. I thought he started with the arms pinned, then released, and that's what I think they're asking you to do.
And not concussed either. Went off, had a check. I initially flinched when I saw it. I thought, gee, they're going to look at that because whenever you see that, when you see the aftermath, he's got the paint in his head and he's been driven into the ground. But I just think the momentum of that, I think he'll be okay and escape concussion. So that was good.
That's some peanut coming at me last night. I'm supposed to be the minister for concussions.
You are.
But not every concussion is the same.
No. But you do take a hard line on these things.
So if I'm not absolutely 100% saying that Briggsy's done something wrong, I probably feel like it's within the code.
If you don't think it's suspendable,
I didn't think it was.
I think your bar is pretty low for those types of things. But
so
why? I was having a look at Brad last night in the coach's box, and granted, you only sort of pan to them when something not ideal has happened. But I thought it was a great opportunity for him last night to head downstairs. I would have thought with this young of a group, head down on the interchange bench and coach from there. And I'm usually not a fan of coaches coaching from the interchange bench, but last night I thought that was the exception. Every time it scanned to him, he had that glum look on his face. He looked a bit defeated, as you can imagine. But get down on the interchange bench, interact with your players, bark, instruct, give them information as they come off. I just thought that was a missed opportunity for him last night to show some energy, some enthusiasm. Okay, let's do things a little bit differently. The circumstances call for it, but just up in the box again, arms folded a lot of the time, glum look on his face. Didn't think it was a great look. I thought a missed opportunity, and I thought he was poorly advised last night. Get down to the bench.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Jeez, I think he's at his best in the box.
Well, he is when he's got
isn't that a personal choice to be up there?
Probably, but I just think the circumstances last night...
They can't win coaches with you, can they?
Last night, the circumstances called for him to be there interacting with the youngest group he's probably ever had.
Yeah, gee whiz, that's a tough assessment. And I'm as tough on Brad as anyone.
That's what a lot of that's what you do. You've got the opportunity. We've seen Sam Mitchell do it. We've seen coaches do it all the time.
Yeah, let's go. It's not for everyone though.
No, but this time I think it was...
Has he ever been down the bench?
Not sure, but this called for it. This absolutely called for it.
Yeah, I just think you go wherever you think it'll allow you to be your best. I think he's very much a coach's box man. I want to give Jordan Ridley a shout out. I thought that's as good a game as I've seen him play for a little while. Just his intercept capabilities. He looks strong behind the ball. Their leaders, and you look at this, and it's a 48-point loss, and people say you're too nice to the Bombers on occasion. You let them off scot-free. But it is hard to be Zach Merritt and Jordan Ridley and Mason Redmond at the moment.
Yep.
Peter Wright dropped a couple of puds
last
night.
Early.
Oh, my God.
And then he came good late. I think he ended up taking 5 marks inside 50.
But it was watermelon early. He'd have drowned. He would have drowned.
They just needed a couple of those early.
Yeah, they did.
So deflating.
And I thought their harassment was really good early, created a lot of opportunities in that forward half, just didn't take them. So that's a good cultural piece that you can actually, no matter who's playing, still go with that, still get that achieved in terms of the defensive side of the game. It's going to be a long 6 weeks for the Bombers, isn't it?
A long 6 weeks.
And it's just going to be a disaster on Thursday and Friday nights.
And unfortunately, that's where they feature. So not their fault, clearly. And if the AFL could change it, they would love to. If the broadcasters would, they would change it as well. But this is what has happened for them. So it's unfortunate. Bombers fans, we can have your say on the other side of this if you'd like to.
Can I just pose a question? If Archie Roberts is to be the rising star, everyone says, oh, he's in the race, he's right in it. I just think his ball use has to be a lot better. Last night he was a bit blast happy, kicked a couple of mungs out of the back line. Just, I know he's a young player, but we're talking about rising star. So that's a whole different level of recognition in our game. And I just think you almost have to be a pure ball user off halfback if you are to win it.
Yep. I think it's an excellent point, and I know one that has been frustrating Essendon fans for a while. An unbelievable opportunity last night. Starts in the centre-bounce for the first one. Bombers fans being, why don't you play Archie Perkins on ball? So I had it. Started pretty well. I had a couple of touches early, But you're right. His contest stuff just is so far off the mark.
He's out of confidence.
There's a lack of energy. There's a lack of urgency. Just
Confidence.
little things like when you need to put your head over the footy, pick it up. Don't try and toe poke it forward. I see too much of that.
But why is he doing that?
Well, to your point, probably. But
So get him going.
but it's what he's starting centre bounce. What else do you want?
If you keep telling someone they're no good, right? Starting them as subs, subbing them out of the game, dropping them, they're going to be no good.
Yeah, but what if they've just moved past him? What if they
Moved
have?
past
What if they
Perkins?
have? Yeah, what
They
if they
haven't
have?
moved past anyone? Have you seen how they've been going?
Yeah, I have, but that's. But you think
Settle him
you
down.
think if he's going any good, he wouldn't be playing
No,
in
of
this
course.
side every week?
He's got a role to play. I went through this last night on Fox. You wouldn't have seen it. So they're throwing him around that much that how can you have any real continuity with your footy? 30% mid, 70% forward. 40%, 60%.
Yeah.
60-40. 100% forward. 50-50. 20% mid, 40% wing,
I get it,
40%
Keith,
forward.
I get it.
100% forward.
But that's an
Settle
excuse.
him down. No,
That's-
it's not.
that's-
No, it's not.
that doesn't
Some
matter.
players can't handle it.
No, if there's a ball there to be won, just put your head over and pick it
No,
up.
confidence,
He's not thinking
confidence.
about, oh, gee, Brad's playing me forward. Oh, now
Of course he's not, but he's out of form because he's been thrown
If the footy is
around.
there, put your head over it and win it.
I get that, but you only play instinctive footy like that when you're seeing it well, when you're on and you're ready to go, you're in good form. Players play differently when they're in good form than when they're struggling. Absolutely,
Does
they
he
do.
need a change of scenery? Does he need a new club?
Essendon can't afford to lose him. They just can't afford to lose. He has to be a product for them going forward. They've got too many high draft picks that they've got question marks on. What's happening with Hobbs? What's happening with Perkins?
Yeah.
Cox is probably not going to be there.
Reed's
What's happening
injured.
with Reed? What's happening? Yeah, the pressure's enormous. Sardis. I mean, they all surely they're all capable AFL players.
Well, unless they've just completely butchered their draft.
Got them all wrong, you reckon?
Wow.
Every high pick.
Well, I don't think they didn't get Reed wrong. Clearly, his body's
So
been affected
6 out
there.
of 7 they got wrong.
Well, it's looking that way. They haven't
can't
got it
possibly be.
right. And I'm not saying that they can't have a role to play in this side moving forward, but they're not going to be stars of the competition, are they?
I think it's too easy to just give up on him. Why can't he play half back? Play Redmond half forward for a while. Give him a look at half back.
He's got to improve his content. Wherever he plays,
Yeah.
he's got to improve his intensity.
Reprogram him. Get something
and his
out of
contest.
him. Daniel Rioli style.
Do you know who's really in my gun, though?
Who?
Other than myself. You know what I'm sick of? I'm a bit sick of the whinging from coaches, Kingy.
Oh,
I'm
not
a bit
coaches
sick. I'm a
again.
bit sick of the whinging from coaches, but it's not a crack at the coaches. It's a crack at the response to that whinging. It is amazing how reactionary we can be in our game that Damien Harbert can go on and speak about Matt Rao and the treatment that he gets. And then the next game, a couple of days later, all of a sudden he gets 7 free kicks and he kicks 2 goals from those free kicks. What sort of reaction is that from our game that they can be so influential to influence outcomes of games? They win that game by a goal. He kicks 2 goals from free kicks. He has 7 for the game. Just because Damien Harbert says, oh, you better keep an eye on Matt Rao.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So the game for me, the umpires, the AFL, in the gun for
Solid.
Grays, Australia's leading online auction marketplace. Don't listen to them. They can have their say. No
I like it.
worries, but you don't have to react to it.
I like it.
Who you got?
I-
Anyone in the gun
There is only
other
one.
than me for the 17th time this morning?
Well, I could have after you brought the thing to its knees. I am putting for Grays
It's not
online.
cold. Not Chris Martin, is it?
No. He's already put a couple in the gun. Oh boy! But there's only one man this round that goes in the gun. It's come in at 34 years of age and stand up at fullback and show that you can be the reason the Dogs can win the thing in a defensive sense. Liam Jones, this is your biggest opportunity right now. If he fails tonight, the coach will lose confidence in him very quickly.
Again.
But he's been a good player. He's been a good player, Liam Jones. I'm not giving up on him. I think he can find.
So if he was
A
good,
hungry player can often do things. We've seen players become taggers in the past, like Libba. This is your last chance. This is the only way you can play for us. I'm hoping for a response from Liam. I really am. And I think if he can, I think Lobby plays better when Liam's there rather than when he has to be the alpha male down back. For Grays Online, going, gone, Liam Jones, get the job done tonight.
it's amazing that my man would play him this week and not last week. Like you think you got the thrill seeker.
Oh, now you're a fan of the three tools.
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
hang on.
If you're coming up against 3 tools and you've got Liam Jones sitting there, you would think my man.
You can't say this.
What do you mean?
You actually cannot. You cannot
If you've got just
cannot
make it
utter
two, make
these
it two.
words.
If you got the Thilseeker and Fogarty,
Yeah.
and you got Liam Jones there,
They got O'Donnell and
you
Lobb.
thi-
So
you
that's
thi-
exactly what you
think,
want.
You think you would play O'Donnell as the third, and you think you would play Jones last week and not this week, would you not? Or not?
well,
Or not? I'm just
You wouldn't
speculating.
because you don't rate the three tools.
No, I
Why
rate
would
Liam,
you play an
because I
extra
rate
tool
Liam Jones,
if
and
you
you
don't
need
rate the three tools?
no, because you need 2 key defenders. You need
Got
2,
to.
don't you?
O'Donnell and Lobb.
He's a second key defender.
That's
is he,
what they
O'Donnell?
think.
Well, that's what they
It's
think.
down your
That's
line of
why he's
thinking,
in the gun.
which is your line of thinking.
No, I just think
You can't have it both ways.
no, I can't.
You
I
can't
absolutely can. Because you need 2 key defenders. And I'm not saying O'Donnell is your second key defender. I'm saying Jones is. Absolutely, I can have it both ways.
But you're saying
But now all of
hang
a
on,
sudden
let-
it's a
hang-
good idea to play
now
Liam
conversing with
Jones.
yourself. If you're potting the three tools, you can't change your lineup
Why are you
for the
making
three
it
tools.
3? You make it 2. 2.
Phil Thorpe, Walker,
You need
Darcy
2
Fogarty.
key defenders. And O'Donnell is not a second key defender. Liam Jones is.
So then,
Now, if it's good enough to play this week, why was it not good enough to play last week when you've got 2 very solid key defenders in Fogarty and the Thilseeker?
so do they have?
O'Donnell can still play on Walker.
Do they have a void in their list?
No. Because
The
I
Dogs?
Because I look at Adelaide.
The
who
Dogs don't have a void
no,
down back.
They
Don't. Hang on. Just let me just get this clear. You're saying they don't have.
No. Let me explain myself.
Yeah, please do.
Every team has a void in their list. Every single team, including
Thanks
the
for
Adelaide Football
I'm
Club.
just talking about the Dogs.
Yeah, and I'm saying this is my answer. Every team does, including the Adelaide Football Club, who had Butts for less than a half, and Keane, and they still got it done
Kane's
against.
going beautifely.
Is he?
Yeah.
So you think he's?
I would
do you think he's a
Keane-
top 15 key defender in our game? I wouldn't.
Last 10 weeks, last 8 weeks.
Key.
What? No, serious. I'm being serious. If you look at his performances, go through his.
Do Adelaide have a void in their key defenders?
Do they have a void?
You're happy with Butts for a half and Keane?
I've been
Are
talking
you?
about how long have I been talking about Nick Murray for when
but
he's
he's-
been in his absence?
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Last
you're
week-
saying they got the best list in the comp.
Yep.
And now you're saying that they lack a key defender.
Well, I'm saying every
And-
team, even the best teams in the comp,
Well,
lack.
it's a strange, if you can't have the best list if you're lacking a
Well,
position
Brisbane
like that.
have a very good list. They lack a key forward. So every team has a void.
Morris,
He's one. They lack a second key forward. Every team has a void in their list. Every single team. And Adelaide beat the Western Bulldogs with Butts for less than a half and a punctured lung and Mark Keane against Norton and Darcy.
I just wish I was here Monday.
You
Really
are
wish I was
you
here
are
Monday.
so kind to Bevo. It is not funny. You
No.
are so kind. It is unbelievable how soft you
Man,
go.
I've been
on him.
saying put Norton down back for 10 years.
But you never speak about their defensive woes, which are just horrible, and you never ever
Mate,
question.
you need to
you
tune in
never
the first
ever
crack.
question him.
You need to
ever.
tune in. We talk about the game and what they lack.
Poor old Justin Longmuir and Adam Kingsley.
Don't
and
change
you
the
just
topic.
let
You got
old-
this wrong. You don't know where you sit with the Dogs. They got the best list. They don't have a centre half back.
I know exactly where I sit.
You don't need to worry about the
I
three
know
tools.
exactly where I sit.
And
with
now
the
you do
Dogs.
need to worry about the
No,
three tools.
no, we're talking about playing Liam Jones, and somehow you've twisted it into Adelaide's three
Well,
tools.
They just played each other.
They need 2 key defenders.
They just
Do you not
played
understand
They
that?
just played last
And
week.
one of them's sitting in the VFL, just twiddling his
Because
thumbs,
he's-
and now he's back.
That's why he's in the gun,
And
because
now
he's
he's
got
back.
to perform.
I think I won that one, 6-1, 6-1. Let's have a listen to Craig McRae. Kingy wants this on his agenda.
Yeah, your eyes are real. Like the facts were, he looks sore, and the GPS says that, and he's getting beaten up a bit, but that's part of the job, isn't it? And we're consciously doing that all the time, Drew. We're looking at his loads at training. This is the first session he's done this week. Getting him through a session, and it's hard to keep him out though. Like you say, what about maybe playing sub? Nah. What about starting the bench? It's a challenge to keep one of the best players off the field. But we're very conscious of his loads.
Oh, they're very conscious of his loads.
What's his game time?
They're
This Mr. Game Time Specialist. What's his game time?
I'd have to have a look.
Oh, yeah, you hadn't had that pre-prepared?
No, because it's just a discussion because we
It's Nick Dacos we're talking about, by the way.
and we just don't have the information, right? We're outside looking in, but when you do see him a bit sore and you start thinking, why isn't he subbed out of more games? When the game's put to bed, why isn't he first man off? I think they've got to look at protecting the little champ from himself rather than worry about getting some numbers late to fatten a little Brownlow opportunity here or
So
there.
my fellow colleagues on the agenda setters, which you clipped up this morning with your little package that you put together for me, nearly fell off their chair when I said similar to this.
Yeah.
That my opinion is that there are a few Collingwood players playing for individual reasons, and what is the method with who rests and who doesn't? Because I can't work it out. So you're not as offended as my colleagues were about that comment.
Why would they be offended?
They thought it was outlandish.
No, I think it's the club's responsibility to look after the player. And if I'm not saying don't play him, and I'm not saying deny him the opportunity to win the Brownlow, but when the game's put to bed, hey, you're off. Pendlebury starts as the sub, and if the game's put to bed, he goes on and Nick comes off. That's what I would be doing in the back half.
What about Elliott? See, Elliott's the other one for me. He hasn't rested either, above the age of 30, and Crisp. So they're the two for me that...
Crisp just keeps playing.
Does he?
Yeah, he's...
Why?
Because it doesn't look to affect him. He likes continuity.
He doesn't know how... He might not know what he's missing. Imagine you giving him a week off. He hasn't had one for 15 years.
I don't think there's I look at him playing, I don't think there's a need to rest him. But I look at Nick, and Nick looks a bit impacted, and he's targeted every week. He puts up with a lot. He has to use the burners every week to get space. He's a different discussion. Pendles is aging, so you've got to look after him. Elliott is a good discussion, Elliott. But Nick, if they can't win it if Nick goes down. They can win it if Elliott goes down. They can probably still win it. They can.
Can they win it if Elliott goes down?
Yeah, they can win it if Crisp goes down.
No, I don't disagree with that.
But if Nick goes down, that's all she wrote.
That's trouble. Yeah, that's trouble.
So I think they've got to minimise some risk.
Pies fans, 0433 98 11 16. You can have your say on that. Just want to revisit the question we asked Adam Kingsley on whether he's worried about losing Lecalier moments ago.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. We think he's going to be an extremely good player for a long period of time. He's only a young fella, 21, I think he is. And, so versatile, can play tall, can play small. So we're a little bit worried, but all we can do is put a contract in front of him and convince him that the Giants is the place for him to be. He loves being at the footy club, but it won't be a decision around whether he enjoys his time here or not.
Be a decision about cash, I would assume. They don't lose many, the Giants. I know they lost Jeremy Cameron. They don't lose many, and they've had a good week. Finn Callaghan staying this year, Cadman, and also Iden, the latest, Darcy Jones to commit as well.
Yeah.
They don't lose many.
No.
This is a big loss.
Look, this is the way they've been set up, isn't it?
Yep.
And they generally get something pretty strong back and build again. It's been a constant cycle because they've been so well set up in the initial phase. The Suns didn't really have this luxury, I don't think, and maybe they'll have it now. But he's improving every week, isn't he? Like more confidence.
Well, he's only played 19 games,
yeah,
20 games.
Every time you see him, you think, oh, yeah. To me, he looks a bit like a poor man's Mac Andrew, but he knows what his capabilities are. I think Mac does a few things that are outside his range.
Yes. And
gets a few things wrong. And can Hollywood every now and then. I don't think this guy does that. I think he's more nuts and bolts, and he's a big frame.
So if the Saints get him, which it sounds like they might, I just wanted to say that is an excellent recruit.
Yeah.
Well, that is the right player for them to go and target at the right age. Perfect. I think it just changes the makeup of what Wilkie can be and the whole of their back six. So I think that would be a huge get. They have to pay to get him. Don't think the salary is going to worry them too much.
Nah.
In terms of the freedom that they've got there, as we've seen. De Koning Aaliyah comes in, then it's a couple of really good additions to that team. I wouldn't pay 1.8 for Tom De Koning or 1.7, but that's where it sits.
Can I throw it to you a different way? So they're paying him 1.8, and it pushes Marshall out the door, and they save say $600-700 there. So really, you're upgrading that position
The
for an extra million.
Yep, $1 million,
and then you might get pick 25 coming back. So there's a cost to that pick. So say that pick, we talked about purchasing picks.
So you've paid $1 million for a pick in the 20s.
And an upgraded ruckman.
Yeah.
For another 6 years.
And
is that a good investment?
Well, probably. And when the salary cap isn't an issue now, and if they can front load that deal and get most of the salary out of the way, so that when they are good in 2-3 years' time, they don't have that 1.7 hanging over their head.
So that's a smart business decision.
I think just
not many are saying that.
No, it's a good way to look at it.
And then you've got to hang on an Asaya, obviously. Can't let him walk out the door.
That's pretty important.
So you can't. I mean, if there's some money needs to be thrown at an Asaya to keep him, well, Don't worry about the
thought-
1.8.
I think they're throwing.
Narrow the focus.
I think they're throwing that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You would hope. I didn't catch a lot of Gary and Tim this week, but I did see on social Gary rating the teams out of 10.
Interesting. I thought there's something in this. I mean, maybe we could get the listeners involved in rating their own team out of 10 with you've got 15 words only in a text to give us your summation. Let's have a listen to the boys.
Can I just quickly go through the teams for you? You asked me the question about Melbourne and their season out of 10. I gave a 5 because I think it's just average.
Let's
okay.
rate them from the bottom up.
Essendon, what are you giving them out of 10?
2,
Giants,
6,
Port,
4,
Sydney,
5,
North,
4,
Richmond,
2.5.
Cats.
3 for Tigers.
Saints.
Saints, 4.
So there's a couple. Pretty harsh on Richmond, I thought.
I thought they've been fantastic this
So
year.
Richmond, for me, he gave them a 2.5, upgraded to a 3.
What would you give them?
Oh, 6?
Yeah.
6 for Richmond?
I had worries about them at the start
So
of the
did
year.
I.
And the coach, I was worried about the whole package, right?
Some said they wouldn't win a game.
I think I would say Richmond fans would have them an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 on expectations.
So they got a 3 from Gaz,
Yeah.
and North got a 4.
So he's talking about probably performance, but
How did North get a 4? How did Richmond get a 3 and North got a 4?
that's a good question. I don't know the answer
So
to that.
there's a couple. The outlier, like North's a 1. North's a 1. Like what you,
Yeah.
I would have expected them to win
Yep.
7 to 8.
Yep, I agree with that. The Giants, they're probably a 6 at the moment, but trending.
Trending up.
Yep. Essendon a 2. That's strong.
It's harsh. so like, considering I told you not that long ago they were equal 7th with a game in hand.
They were 9th.
until they got decimated.
Have never been in the 8th.
So I would have thought that was a bit harsh. Anyway, rate your team. 0433 98 11 16. Tell
Number
us.
and 15 words.
Yep. Or if you're going to send us a text, team and number out of 10 for the year.
Statement.
If that's on the text.
Yeah,
All right.
nice.
1300 736 736.
Nick
Let's go to
Dacos has played 85% of game time.
Mr. Game Time expert.
85.
Leo is on the line. Hello, buddy.
Leo,
Yes.
You want to speak about
go ahead.
Naz?
We're just about to put you through the
Yeah,
cane.
Nasiah Wangan, and as a passionate St Kilda supporter, I fear that he's going to go. So we've got to move on. What do you think his trade value is worth with Port? And can we swing a three-way deal? Because Nas is a generational player. Could we get Harley Reid in a three-way deal?
I don't know
do you
how.
reckon?
I don't know how Port get a deal done. To be completely honest with you, they got no. They got no first pick. I know there's room to trade your futures and all that. How could Port Adelaide possibly get a deal done for him?
See, I
I can't. We need
they'd have to
Kaltumi
get
or
very creative.
someone on, or some rocket scientist to work out how they could satisfy the Saints. Now, of course, he's out of contract, so
There'd
that's
be no satisfying.
So-
how can they minimise the dissatisfaction in the whole deal?
so he have to say, I'm out. I'm done. And if you don't trade me, I'm going in the draft. That would have to be the threat coming from the management. Then you have to take a little bit less than what you really deserve for him. But I got no idea, Leo. It's a good point. No idea how they would get a deal done. It would take an absolute rocket scientist to work that one out.
I wonder if that's the thought process of most St Kilda fans that he's gone.
I had the feeling he was staying. The reports that 2 weeks ago he's going to sign a 2-year deal and stay. That was what I was hearing. Maybe it's shifted a little bit since. I'd be shocked if he left. Justin's on the line.
Sure.
I would be shocked. Yeah, I'd be shocked because all the prominent people. Caro was telling me it's a 2-year deal. They met with the manager. The manager was seeking offers from the Saints. It was all progressing to staying on a shorter term deal. So I'd be, and then I don't know how they get a deal done.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean towards him leaving.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I don't want him to leave. I love what he's doing. I love how Ross is playing him.
That'd suck the life out of the Saints.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
wouldn't it pop the balloon?